These are not dead bodies. This is not a crime scene. These are businessmen passed out on the streets of Tokyo after a long day at the office. These photos were taken by documentary filmmaker Allegra Pacheco, who visited Japan for the first time in 2012 and was shocked to discover that this scene was not uncommon.
I thought it would be really interesting to just circle it. You circle things to raise awareness or to highlight something, right? To remember something.
Pacheco wanted to know how someone can start their day at the office and end up sleeping in the street. So she followed these salarymen from when they left their jobs to the moment they passed out. What she found was that this was just a symptom of a much bigger problem in Japan, a culture of extreme overwork, oftentimes to the point of complete exhaustion and even death. Overwork in Japan is no joke. A recent government study found that nearly a quarter of workers logged more than 80 hours of overtime every month, and that 1 in 5 workers are at risk of death by overwork, either by stroke or heart attack or from stress-induced suicide. There's even a word for this in Japanese, karoshi, which literally means overwork death.
It really becomes a social problem and a social concept in the 1980s, right at the moment of pure success. Employment becomes much more intense. People are much more desperate than ever. There isn't a lifetime commitment to them anymore. So they're continuing to work very, very hard for fewer jobs with less certainty. So the discipline is there, the idea that you should be working and giving physically, mentally, everything that you've got. Drinking became the mode of dealing with the pressure.
They go to the bar and drink a lot. And it seems like they're releasing their stress, but in fact drinking too much is one of the big reasons why they're so stressed.
Despite the fact that karoshi has persisted for decades, the Japanese government didn't really address the problem until last year. They were pressured to do so after a 24-year-old woman logged 105 hours of overtime, wrote on social media that she was, quote, physically and mentally shattered, then jumped off a building to her death. In the wake of the tragedy, the government took action, but only capped overtime at 100 hours, an amount experts say still puts workers at risk. Karoshi is not just a Japanese problem. Work-induced deaths have been widely reported in China and South Korea, so much so that the countries have their own words for it.